Next question, microphone number one. Mr. Caulfield, wonderful to see you. You're a stalwart of the bank AGMs and a regular attendee at ours. In fact, seeing you always makes me feel that the end of year is coming and that we can celebrate Christmas. You have a tremendous ongoing energy and interest in banks, so thank you for coming along. We don't always agree, but what you say and your voice is important.
Thank you, Chairman. Yes, Craig Caulfield from Maroochy River has a question for you.
Good morning. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you to the board, and my best wishes to Mr. McFarlane and Miss Atlas in your retirement, if it's retirement or your ongoing career, and welcome to Holly Kramer to the board too. It's generally, overall, a wonderful bank. We've had a great history actually with ANZ. I've had 43 loans over 47 years being a customer with ANZ. I do have complaints and issues, but to put that in perspective, there is a strong, solid background there. My question, APRA applied a capital reserve penalty to ANZ back in 2019 of $500 million. I'm not sure if that's been released or not. You could touch on that in a minute. This penalty was applied by APRA because directors failed, and still fail today, to set the right tone, accountability and consequence management for poor performance and broken promises. In our family's case history, which has been on foot for 5 years, the IDR team failed to provide documents they promised. The customer advocate made no notes in our meetings and pivoted our complaint away from key issues, including loan application fraud. The Deputy CEO, Alexis, promised documents in a meeting and brought none. Our CEO, Shane, promised mediation on the 21st of November 22 in the presence of the Company Secretary, Simon Portage, my wife, Moira, daughter, Olivia, and is now twisting events and reneging on his promise. I offered the voice-recorded meeting, approved by all parties at the meeting, to you, Chair, as verification, which you have refused to listen to. In the absence of you listening to this recording with me, Chair, and given that I've made so many letters and attempts over so many years to resolve this case genuinely and fairly, I will share this with the media as the mental health pressures to all of our family over the years as you delay, deny, deceive, compound. As Banking Royal Commission witness Michael Hurst said, ANZ have no compassion. A year later, his wife Dimity Hurst said, at ANZ nothing's changed. Chair, will you meet to listen to the recording and agree to Shane's promised mediation without deflection? Thank you.
Thank you, Craig, and you and I have been corresponding, and thank you for your email of yesterday, which I've received. I'm not going to go into an individual customer issue on the floor. I think we mentioned that. A, it would be a long meeting, but B, I don't think it would be appropriate to set the precedent. I'm happy to catch up with you after the meeting and have a chat, and I know Simon, who's here, will do that as well. Can I just also say that capital overlay was added to all of the Big Four as an outcome of the Royal Commission, and naturally, and we often agree to disagree, I wouldn't necessarily agree with some of the statements you've made, but I respect your right to make them. So hopefully we can catch up afterwards.
Yeah, the capital overlay of 500 million, yes, it was applied to all the 4 big banks. You haven't answered my question, which was, has it been removed from ANZ?
No, it hasn't.
No. So when you purport to make them similar between the 4 banks, we know that CBA's capital overlay has been returned. Look, I'm not right up to date with the others, but I thought they'd been returned. But ANZ's is 4 years, and the typical capital overlay that is applied as a penalty by APRA lasts 2 years. The fact that this substantial capital penalty remains after 4 years and still ongoing is saying that APRA, an important regulator, is saying you haven't cut the mustard.
Well, I will let APRA speak for themselves, but it's just important to say only CBA have released the detail of the workings, and my understanding is that no, not every bank has had it lifted. But you're entitled to express an opinion on that, and I respect it.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting you later. I would just like to ask, will all the directors meet later? And I just want to further say, last year I asked you that question. You said yes. I pushed back because of experiences in previous years. You said yes. And last year, Alana Atlas kindly came out. Yourself, you were there, fantastic. The other directors
I think
weren't.
I think you posted me on Facebook or something afterwards in a
Oh,
group
and-
photo with you.
Yes, yes.
So look, obviously,
All directors should show. Every director. It's actually, frankly, cowardly.
so we're interstate, and so clearly some of our directors do have to travel. So assuming we're going to have a good orderly meeting and finish after a reasonable time, the directors will be there. The only reason they won't will be if they've got to catch a flight. But we're all keen to get out and hear and learn what our shareholders think.
Yeah,
and
the
to hear
flight,
views.
the flight was used in 2019, and I caught an Uber to the Qantas Lounge, and I stood in front of the Qantas Lounge immediately to track down one director. Of course, I wasn't aware of the Chairman's Club at the time, so it must have been a different lounge. But really, it's not to do with a flight this afternoon that you've got. There's
Well,
one day a year you meet
the
shareholders.
sooner
Just
we-
stay today.
The sooner we get through the questions, Mr. Caulfield, the sooner we'll be able to come out and
The
meet with
sooner you say, yes, we'll stay to meet
Well,
the
we'll be-
shareholders
we'll be there.
until everyone's asked their questions.
Yeah, we'll be there.
Thank you.